Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and I'm embarrassed.
Why?
Why haven't we ever given our guest a theme song? This is one of my favorite guests, and he does not have a theme.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, but I mean, Chris, you've been coming on the show now for
years.
Over a decade.
Almost about 8 years, I think.
Okay, 8 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. It's been 8 years?
It's been 8
And we
years.
never had a
No.
movie intro, Chris Crespo.
No. And you know what? We're going to keep it that
Cinema
way.
Crespedeso.
Yeah, we're gonna keep
I'm
it
fine
that
with
way.
that. I'm the introless guest. I'm fine with that.
I
Yeah,
mean, we can
let's
make
set you
one on
apart.
AI in 9 seconds.
Yeah, but people hate the AI. People are so mad at the AI.
They don't care.
Yeah, they do. They
don't
still
care.
tell me about it. They're like, don't you dare use it.
I
So-
see the Instagram comments.
Yeah, some people will say, I thought you said your show was AI free.
What's this picture?
Yeah, what is this?
So Chris Crespo is here.
What's up,
from Cinema
guys?
Crespedeso podcast.
Yes, how you doing?
So Chris, in preparation of today's show, I started looking at a bunch of upcoming movies that are coming out like fall, and then August, September, and
What
there's
has been
a
the
lot
movie
of
of the
good
summer?
ones.
What is the film of the summer right now?
Probably Inside Out 2 has made the most money, I think. So far, that's the movie of the summer. Despicable Me 4 is also doing well. Twisters just made $80 million opening weekend. So, I mean, see
Ride
how
it
that
out.
plays out for next month. That could be looked back as one of the bigger movies of the summer for sure.
I was surprised about that.
About how much money it made?
Yeah,
Well, the first one was a record-breaking movie. It was like the 6th highest grossing film of all time when that
Yeah.
one came out. I'm
We
actually
forget
shocked that it took this long for a sequel to come
Yeah,
out.
we forget that movie, Twister, was super dominant.
Yeah.
It also made a lot of people mad.
In what
Because
way?
it's like the star is a storm, right?
Oh,
you know,
sure, yeah.
and like you've got better stories being told that aren't as powerful as that movie was at the time.
Yeah.
And you're right.
Yeah.
I think they waited. I expected
So
a
long.
Twister 2 almost immediately.
Within
right?
3 years.
Yeah.
They usually would capitalize on the success, bring back Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt and all that. But they waited so long, now it's this sort of like spiritual legacy sequel where it's not, and actually not even a legacy sequel because it does reference the first movie very much. It's just its own thing with new characters, but they're still trying to just get data for a tornado. That's still the central crux of what they're doing, trying to get to a tornado so they can measure it.
yeah,
That's the big thing.
And didn't they cut a?
And they did that last 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and what did that change?
Yeah, now they're like, oh, we have better ways to measure things now. That's it. We can get more information. That's
Didn't
it.
they cut a kiss from that movie?
I just read that today. They cut a kiss at the
Yeah.
very end. I mean, I guess spoiler alert, but I mean, it's out there in the news now that they had the kiss between the main two characters at the very end, and they shot it both ways where they kiss and they don't kiss. They kind of just stand there and like smile at each other like doofuses. And they went with the non-kiss ending, and I didn't notice.
Because Spielberg told him to, right?
I don't know who told him to. I
Yeah,
didn't
it
hear
was
about
like
that.
what I read. It was like Steven Spielberg told them to do that, and then that was the last of the headlines. So I stopped reading.
Interesting. I mean,
Yeah, I only read headlines, and then
Yeah.
I pass on the misinformation to people.
It is Amblin Entertainment, so it's co-produced by Spielberg's company, as well as it's a rare Universal and Warner Brothers co-production, like the first movie. For whatever reason, probably because it's so expensive. Both movies were so expensive that they decided to team up, and then they split up the distribution rights. Like Universal gets the rights to North America, and then Warner Brothers gets international, and they divvy up everything else. It did reportedly cost up to $200 million to make, which is a lot of money.
Director Lee Isaac Chung explains, he says, I feel like audiences are in a different place now in terms of wanting a kiss or not wanting a kiss. I actually tried the kiss, and it was very polarizing. And it's not because of their performance of the kiss. This no-kiss shot was the other option that I'd filmed on the day, and I've got to say, I just like it better. I think it's a better ending.
Yeah, I mean, it probably also did test screenings for this movie, and they got back some audience feedback, and they probably asked them directly what you think about the kiss, and some people might have said, oh, it felt weird, or maybe out of nowhere. Maybe they
Was it
didn't
like,
build up to it enough.
Yeah, that
maybe,
would be awesome.
Maybe it was a little too
like
aggressive.
After
yeah,
all
yeah.
of it, if they went to kiss, and then he was like,
Oh, he did a tornado.
yeah.
jump.
Yeah.
He goes, now wait till you see this twister. and then it was well received. This is what happened. They're not going to tell you this, but we'll spoil it here on the show. If you don't want to know the true ending to Twisters, turn off your radio now. The true ending is he starts doing a twister with his tongue like that. Then you think she's going to be like, what the hell? But she isn't. She starts going the opposite way, and they put their tongues together. And it's like,
And they create a perfect cyclone.
it's real gross. It's like a 5-minute swirl. It's a 5-minute uncomfortable, and you hear it all. It's like,
Yeah, they lean into the ASMR of it. Yeah.
It's like that for a full 5 minutes. It's a full 5, and then it cuts to black. And Steven Spielberg was like, "Dude, you can't do that." He's like, "You can't effing do that."
He's like, save that for the home video release. You guys are crazy.
Why don't people do fun things anymore? Nothing's fun anymore.
Yeah.
That's the ending we deserve. That's the ending we deserve.
That would have been a better ending, probably.
Yeah.
All right, there's a lot to get to. So, is there any movies that you particularly want to talk about before I run through some of these?
Well, Alien Romulus comes out in a few
I
weeks
was going to
here.
mention that.
You want to talk about that one? Yeah, that
Even
movie
the
looks
name
crazy.
Sounds dumb. Alien Romulus.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Romulus name. They started naming them after the spaceships in the movie, like Prometheus, Covenant, and now Romulus. I don't know if that's necessary. I was fine with Alien.
Hey, what's up, baby? It's me, Alien Romulus.
Does sound like a hip hop name.
Yeah, it does. Sounds cool.
But the movie looks awesome, though. Like, it looks really gnarly and intense. And it's directed by the guy who made, remember Old Blind Man with a Gun?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember we talked about that a few years
Who's the
ago?
old blind man with a
Yeah,
gun?
it was that movie. It was a blind guy
Oh, I
with
thought
a
you were
gun.
talking about Clint Eastwood. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Some teens break into his house and then they're trying to sneak around and try to shoot him.
It was the horror movie where the horror movie is just a confused old man.
Yeah.
He's the murderer.
And he's like terrorizing the kids. It's that director. He also made the Evil Dead remake from like 10 years ago that was extremely gross and bloody. So I'm looking forward to an Alien movie that's going to be really gross and intense, like maybe even more violent than the other Alien movies before it, which says a lot.
They're saying this one, this goes back to the way Alien was originally touted to me as a young man, and it was like, this is a horror movie.
Yes.
This is not a space movie.
Or action movie.
Yeah,
no.
this is going to scare you.
This is supposed to make you feel tense and feel the pressure of being in a small environment with a scary monster that wants to destroy you. You know,
Kevin Spacey.
He's
the monster.
Kevin Spacey
Kevin
plays the monster. He's back. Kevin Spacey's back. He's playing the monster. He's really good.
He is back.
Yeah,
but
he's back.
We'll talk about that.
This is going to make you hate me, but
okay.
And
what if we already hate you?
Touche.
Will this make us like you?
No.
Come
It
all
definitely
the way
won't.
back around.
Okay.
But the alien, the quintessential shot that is in every Alien movie is the
face.
the alien girl.
It's usually, let's be honest,
the girl.
It's usually a masculine lady in a tank top.
Yeah. So
it's a masculine lady in a wife beater.
and then she's got her head turned, and then the alien opens his mouth, and then another tiny
And a
mouth
baby.
comes out.
Yeah,
right?
a little head comes out, yeah.
And then they start swirling their tongue.
Wait.
Tornado Twister.
Twister 3. But so another mouth comes out of the mouth.
It's
right?
a baby alien.
Yeah.
And then that's the quintessential Alien. They do that shot in every single Alien.
Yeah, I think so. Most of them, yeah.
And so when I saw that, I was like, how did that tiny, smaller mouth help this alien, or how this
It
alien
doesn't help.
evolved?
It hurts. It sucks having an
yeah.
alien in your throat.
Yeah.
But
Every time you go to eat a hot dog, this little alien's coming out and eating the hot dog first.
I was just
How
like,
do you eat?
It's hard to go to a baseball game.
Gotta buy 2 hot dogs.
How did this help this creature having a tiny mouth inside his big mouth?
You find there's no logic in it. There's no logic in this alien.
How is this an evolutionary trait that this creature evolved into that have
To have a smaller mouth. Maybe it needs to get into smaller crevices, if you know what I'm saying.
I think it would be a pain in the butt. Like if I go,
Exactly,
if
that's
I
what I'm
run
saying.
up here to Del Taco and I go to eat something, and then another mouth comes out and starts eating, I'm like, get the hell out of here! What are you doing?
Anyway.
Get
Dripping
out of
acid saliva all over your food.
So that's
before
coming
you even
out
get to it. In a couple weeks, like
couple
August
weeks.
16. It's R-rated. I mean, the trailer online looks super, super good and intense. I like good marketing, and it's marketed really, really well. I think it looks good.
I will say that the theatrical release poster is intense.
Yeah.
It is what appears to be a man or woman's face. You can't really tell, and it is an alien just eating it. It's bye.
And actually, I saw, the difference between a green band and a red band trailer in a movie theater. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
Sometimes you go to a movie and, you see the trailer and then it'll say this has been approved for all audience. That big green screen. Sometimes it's a red screen and says this trailer has been approved for restricted audiences. Those only play in front of R-rated movies. And they're trailers that have, like, curse words in them. They show a little bit of violence, maybe a little bit of nudity.
One booby.
Yeah, it's literally like an R-rated trailer. So they had one for Alien Romulus, and the thing that they include that's on a normal trailer is a shot. The face huggers, they grab onto your face and they impregnate the person and they put the chest burster inside them so it comes out of their body later, right? The trailer shows a guy holding the facehugger back like he's trying to stop it, and it's actively like going into his mouth, and he's trying to. It's like choking him as it's gross and gnarly and visceral.
Yeah,
it's
doing this.
It's more than you've ever seen in another Alien movie regarding the same monsters and mechanics and stuff. They're just showing you more in a more intense way.
Yeah.
And I'm both terrified and intrigued. I can't
Okay,
wait.
all right,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
good.
it looks very good.
Well,
Leave it right there. That's a good one.
Speaking of movies that are coming out in the next couple of weeks, I believe Joker is also.
That's not until I think maybe November.
Is it November?
But they
Okay.
are already very actively marketing that right now. They expected to make. I mean, the first one was a huge hit. I think it made $1 billion worldwide. Did it? Made a lot of money. So
Aren't they,
they're expecting this next one to be gigantic.
And everything I'm hearing, it seems as if they're already sort of saying, like, hey, if you like the first one, Lady Gaga in this movie is going to literally, I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
it's going to blow you away.
Yeah, the casting director said Lady Gaga was not my idea, not my decision, and she was like, this person, Lady Gaga, blew me away. She's going to impress everyone more than they've ever
It was between Lady
been.
Gaga and Melissa McCarthy. And they just went a different direction.
Yeah,
now-
that's a tough choice.
It
know?
is. It is
Yeah.
a tough choice.
Yeah.
I did see the first one. Me and Crystal watched it because everybody was raving about how
Yeah.
good Joaquin Phoenix was.
Anytime there's an old
Yeah.
lady in a bathtub,
Oh,
it's
gross.
going to be
Yeah.
a crazy movie, right?
And he did do a really good job depicting mental illness.
Sure.
And
I think I do a good job.
So, yeah.
Where's my Oscar? You know, where are people telling me how good I am?
And
You
then
got to film it more. Well, actually, you're filming it
I
every
film
week.
it every day.
Yeah.
at the end of it, I was just like, well, I don't want to watch a guy depicting mental illness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a
I
downer.
have that in my family. I watch it all the time. I
Yeah.
call. I'm like, "How's he doing? Not well. Okay,
Yeah,
great." Ending credits.
and I'm like, it just seemed to me like a big downer.
The movie is a bit of a downer. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. It is a downer.
There is a bit of a trend, I think, in movies. Since and we could analyze this if we don't have enough time today, but it does seem like there are more negative movies out there now.
Sure.
you know?
Well, maybe because it's just a reflection of the world, and
Sure.
people are trying to work through all those feelings.
Yeah,
and,
it's therapy.
Yeah, exactly. It really is. I mean, it's reflecting the world around us, and then it becomes a cycle where then you can argue, well, if our art is then super depressing, is that making us more depressed? Does it then come back around, or does it relieve us and help alleviate the depression because we have something to identify with? Again, like you said, we could talk about it forever. but-
Opinion from the chat room: they are hesitant but excited about the next Joker because they really like the movie. They're afraid that this is going to ruin something that they think is top 5 for them.
Sure. Well, they're going to do something very different with this movie. It is a musical. It's a jukebox musical. I don't know if you guys were aware of that.
Really?
Yeah, there's like 15
That's
songs.
what I was afraid of.
Yeah, it's a musical, full on, 100%. That's part of the reason why they got Gaga, because she can sing. They'll be singing, and
Yeah, I'm out.
not songs original for the movie,
I'm
but
a
like
musician,
recontextualized popular
but I'm
songs.
out. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't like musicals personally. Very few of them do
I love
like.
them, but not
I'll
in-
see this just almost out of curiosity
So
at this
you're
point.
telling me now I get the depressed mental illness
Yeah.
and musical
And music.
Yeah.
together?
and
Yeah.
singing and dancing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm all alone. I'm on my pills.
Yeah.
I'm all alone. I'm on my pills. I want to kill.
I will say, I do think that the Joker trailer that's out there now is also another case of really good marketing. I think that movie's going to have a huge opening weekend, and between
It'll
the
do
marketing
well.
and Lady Gaga, it's going to do great. Now, whether it's a good movie, we'll all find out, by the end of the year.
I don't think they'd be pumping it up if it wasn't.
That's the thing.
And I believe in Lady Gaga. I'm not
Yeah.
a mega fan or anything, but I think she's extremely talented. One of the most talented people we have actively doing their thing.
Sure.
And I think she's weird enough to pull it off.
Absolutely.
She can act. We know she can do that.
Yep.
I mean, that's proven.
Yep.
The singing, we don't even need to go into.
Right,
So,
I think she's an inspired, smart choice, actually.
Yeah.
And you're right. I do feel like they are confident in what they have, because I see that with other movies where it looks like it's going to be a big movie. For example, this Borderlands movie that's coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wrote that down as well.
I feel like the teaser came out and everyone was like, this is a big thing. And then once I guess the movie was finished and the studio saw it, I haven't seen any marketing for it. I've
Nothing.
barely seen anything online. It comes out in like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks it comes out.
So Borderlands is a video game, and Daniel's played this. So
Yeah.
I watched the trailer. The trailer looks
I think it looks
like
fun.
it looks
Jamie
like a
Lee
Marvel
Curtis.
movie. You know, like
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Hart,
Kate
Jack
Blanchett.
Black, Kate Blanchett.
Jack Black. Yeah, man, I love Jack Black.
Yeah,
I mean,
playing
decent cast.
I
yeah.
mean, it has a Guardians of the Galaxy feel.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Where a group of ragtag space
Pirates,
people
whatever, sure,
are out there. I
Hunters.
mean, this is in the trailer, out there looking for a treasure.
Yeah.
bounty hunters.
Yeah, they're doing some sort of adventure and coming across crazy people.
Yeah, and then
treasure hunters. You got to upgrade your guns.
Yep. Very video game, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
and you've got Jack Black playing the comic relief in the robot, similar to Groot in the Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, there's
Clapchat, though, also the biggest. I mean, he's probably the biggest star of the game.
Oh,
because
really?
when you are playing the game, your only helper is Clapchat.
So he's in all of it.
Yeah, I mean, unless they do something different with his character, he's your companion, right? So when you're getting your guns and going to different worlds and studying different aliens and trying to fight your way back to get whatever, he's your buddy, assisting you. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
I find it interesting that the trailers don't say it's from the director of Hostel and Hostel Part 2, because I think that'd get more people to come out to see Borderlands. The guy made some indelible films that people remember. You ever see Cabin Fever? From like forever ago, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That was Eli Roth's first movie. Follows up with the Hostel films. Those are huge hits. And then he's sort of been looking for another big hit since then. He's made a bunch of movies. His last one was that Thanksgiving movie that came out last year. I think that's on Netflix now, the Thanksgiving horror film.
Oh, yeah.
That started as like a fake trailer in the Grindhouse Tarantino movie, and then they turned into a real thing.
Yep.
And then this is his follow-up now. His latest movie is his Borderlands movie. So, I mean, I feel like he's always looking for that big hit, and he's definitely hoping this will be it. And video game movies are like expected to be the next big genre, replacing comic book movies as like the number one genre, money-making popular genre. Five Nights at Freddy's made a ton of money. Super Mario Brothers made a ton of money. They're hoping Borderlands does well. They're greenlighting more stuff based on video games over comic books and stuff. These things go in cycles, so that's the next fad.
Do you think maybe because so many, like, they know how many people purchase the Borderlands video game, right?
Sure.
And then just based on that, they're like, maybe we just market it to the people that play the video game only because they'll see it first, and then that's all we need, or I don't know.
I play on Xbox
I never saw any
nightly, and especially since I got College Football 25, which I know a lot of listeners are playing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything. Normally, they would throw a banner
Some
up
sort of splash page up there or something.
I remember when it initially came out, they did. I'm not playing any Borderland games currently. I don't know if they do anything with that. The chat room is kind of ticking on something that I'd be interested to see what Crespo thinks. They're kind of saying that for the franchise, that the movie, yes, we want the movie, and yes, we love the game, but everybody you cast for this particular movie are like incredibly older than they should have been for the game. Like it should have been like newer people.
Interesting. So they went for some more bigger established names versus trying to break out some younger actors.
And it's not doing anything. Like multiple people in the chat room are basically saying like, the cast is terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, for the characters.
For the characters,
for the game.
not
for
in general. I mean,
talent-wise.
anytime you can get Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Jamie Lee Curtis,
I mean, Kate Blanchett is like one of the best actresses on the planet.
But most people are like, it just doesn't.
I feel like she's such a good actress that her doing Borderlands is slumming it. It's crazy that she's doing this movie. It's like this. To me, Borderlands is beneath her, and it's her like, no, I want to have a good time and have some crazy hair. And she did say she got this script right after, like 2 weeks into the pandemic. So she was, 2 weeks into lockdown. She was gardening in her backyard, going crazy, thinking about her future. And then she got this screenplay, and she read it, and it connected to her. So that's why she agreed to do the movie. But it is strange seeing her in these trailers because I feel like, this is Lydia Tarr. She's an actress who creates big characters and wins awards. And then here she is, a video game movie directed by a guy who did Hostel.
Well, speaking of sci-fi movies, I was excited because the trailer for Spaceman has officially been released, okay? Because before we talked about Spaceman, Adam Sandler.
The Adam Sandler one, the Netflix one.
And then the last time you were here, all it had was the picture of Adam Sandler on some sort of planet. There wasn't a trailer.
Yeah. That movie didn't come out yet?
And I don't know. Is it out?
I think it may have come out, actually.
It could be out because I just saw the trailer.
I remember you talking about that a while ago. Yeah, for sure. The teaser, the floating teaser.
Yeah. The floating teaser. But now the official trailer came out.
Sure. And
I watched it, and I screamed, "Oh no! This is Tuesday 2 all over." because I'm not spoiling anything.
I think it's out.
In the trailer, there is a giant space spider that is talking to Adam Sandler about his feelings. And,
Wow.
and I was like, oh no! And then, it's because I was
Crazy.
like, this is ridiculous.
Are people now just coming to terms with the fact that we all went a little crazy during the pandemic?
I was
and
just
talked
about
to like a
I was just about to
imaginary
say
friend
that,
or
Dan.
something.
Oh, you're reading my brain. I was
Yeah.
just about to say, what if this is a case of people, they're stuck in a pandemic, writers are stuck doing nothing, and they just have their cat, and they spend all day talking to their cat, and then in their brain, like, what if I made a movie about someone who's talking to an animal, but the animal's helping them work out their feelings, so I'm going to do about a bird that's going to help me deal with my daughter's death or whatever.
Well, obviously, they didn't know the audience in Florida because my life didn't change in the pandemic. I went to work every day and stopped talking to anybody.
No, we were all making out in the middle of the street. It was crazy.
There's a space spider, and he's talking to Adam Sandler about how he's confused about his feelings. It's Adam Sandler, and then I'm just like, oh God, and I got mad.
Yeah, it's out, and the reviews are terrible.
Yeah.
All right, so skip it, buddy, because you don't want to Tuesday yourself all over again.
Yeah.
That movie's about to come out wide, I think, too, Tuesday.
I think it already did, yeah.
Did it already? Because you saw it at the film festival at a full screening, wasn't it?
Yep, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get in because I use a press pass, and if the screening's full, I can't get in. There has to be seats available. But it sounds like I dodged a bullet, though. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've had a lot of listeners that still are not going to see that movie because of Tom, but then they feel like they have to see the movie because of Tom.
No, I'm telling you, the way you described it, it sounded so absurd that I have to see it. Like you're saying it's bad, don't see it, but then you kept describing it, and I was like, this sounds bananas. I have to see this movie.
Yeah.
But
and it kind of died down. Like at first it was like everybody, oh hey, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, she's gonna get her. This is her big movie.
Yeah,
and then it popped, and then it was like everybody went back to like, oh yeah, it's crazy.
That happens all the time.
Well, another thriller that's out, or it's coming out soon, is Quiet Place Day One.
I saw that.
So you saw the movie?
Yeah, I saw it about a month ago, 3 weeks ago. When did it come out? And that is another one that did really well, better than expected. Over $50 million opening weekend, the best opening weekend of the Quiet Place movies. So they're gonna keep making these now as long as they keep making money. And I've seen all three of them. I think this one's actually the best one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's really, really good. It's new characters.
What is this? Where if you talk or something, then they get into your skull? Or
if you make any sound, these alien monsters can hear you and they come right for you because they're like echolocation based. They have no sight, but they have great hearing. So everyone's trying to be quiet at all times. So it works great in a movie theater, especially an opening weekend. There are scenes in the movie where you can tell people are afraid to crunch their popcorn because it makes so much noise in the theater. Everyone can hear you making noise, and it's like, no, be quiet. We're trying to watch this movie.
I would like a big, big old blammer.
Dan, that happened to me when I went and saw A Quiet Place. There were these two little kids, like 12-year-old kids, next to me.
You gotta put a fart in there.
During a quiet part of the movie, the kid right next to me just let up.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
I was like, this little son
you gotta
of a...
do it. That's what you get for a dumb movie premise.
Yeah, dude, that happened to me. But it was a good movie. It was actually really enjoyable, and I was surprised at how much I liked it. Because the other ones, I think they're okay. They're fine movies. So I was kind of just going to see this one because it was the big movie.
And this is similar to Bird Box? Right?
Kind of, yeah, because Bird Box, that was like a sight, like we can't look at them or else they attack us. So
that one you can't look.
You can't look at them.
Totally different.
Get out of here.
That one's no look. This one's no talk.
No talk. No look. No talk. They are very similar. They're very, very similar.
But that one, you put a bandana on your head.
Yeah, they're walking around with bandanas.
And you're good as long as you have a bandana on your eyes.
Yeah, and you don't walk off a bridge.
So wait a minute. Is the only, am I told that, like, okay, so the bandana one is easier.
Way easier.
Yeah, because also under the bandana I've got my eyes closed. But the other one, if I'm making a noise,
just step on a twig, and
then
they'll come and get you.
Yeah. What do they do to you when they get you?
They don't. They're PG-13, so basically they just like come into frame and grab you and take you out, so you don't see any actual violence or anything.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, it's good for. Honestly, it is good for like families and teenagers and stuff because it's not.
What about inside a
building?
building? Can they get inside the building?
Heck yeah, they're huge. They're giant monsters, and they're very strong, so they can definitely get in. So you got.
They can open a door.
They all smash through the door.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be scarier if they like Velociraptor style, just like use a claw hand to slowly open the door and walk in.
Maybe we'll get there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw this movie. It's directed by Jordan Peele, and it is called Monkey Man.
He produced it.
Oh, he produced it.
Actually,
Okay,
the guy who started it, Dev Patel.
Is this the
he's
Asian
the director.
fighter guy with the monkey mask?
Yes.
Yeah. But this is like set in India.
I've seen
it's
this.
Indian.
Yeah.
It's on Peacock now. I think.
Yeah, I think I watched this.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think I watched this months ago or something.
Well, it came out in theaters like earlier this year, and I think it hit Peacock maybe 2 months ago. Yeah, and I really liked it. I think it's a lot of fun.
It kind of reminded me of like Fight Club a little bit.
A little Fight Club-y, a little sort of like Snatch, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, because very high energy, a lot of quick editing.
It's Indian John Wick.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, let's
it
just
is
be
Indian
honest.
John Wick.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. I mean, John Wick changed the way action movies got made, I think, for the better, because like there's a big focus on stunts and wide shots, a lot of hand-to-hand fighting.
Feels like
it
more
looks
of an
really
art.
good.
Like when you think of like a John Wick movie now, or you like, it does feel more like that you're gonna get the appreciation of the stunts.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like real old Hollywood and not a lot of like they use a lot of practical effects.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah, I think it's great.
That's
I mean,
more artistic to me, really.
yeah, and
I
then
mean,
and we're the same age. I mean, I grew up watching those 80s and 90s action movies
Yeah.
before CG. I love a dang Van Damme, Steven Seagal movie,
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
So to see these kind of action movies like be done well for the last 10, 15 years thanks to John Wick and that one particular production company that he works with, it really trickled down to other movies, and Dev Patel made a really good movie, and it's his first film, so it has an air of like desperation, like I'm trying to impress you with my directing skills. I'm doing a lot of tricks, and I'm trying to make a flashy movie, so it makes for a very entertaining film. I'm looking forward to seeing him make more movies and like refine his style and get better, because I mean he's got potential to be really, really good filmmaker. He is a pretty good action star. I like how for the first part of the movie, he's getting his butt kicked everywhere he goes, and then he has to go through like sort of a typical movie training sequence,
Yeah.
like some
Yeah.
monks
Like a
and stuff.
transition,
Yeah,
yeah.
the transition. And then he shows up as a total badass and has a big, awesome fight scene at the end. It's good. It's a good movie.
It reminded me that's very classic. And,
Yeah.
and I like that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
How old is this gentleman directing? Is he around our age?
He's got to be like 35,
Yeah, I
40.
was gonna say,
he was
like-
probably he's a little younger because he broke out with Slumdog Millionaire, and he was probably in his 20s then, mid-20s.
Gotcha.
How old were we? Maybe he's our age. Yeah, he could be like 40 right now already, which is wild.
There you go.
Yeah, very good movie. I really liked it.
Also, if you can get into that Indian market, they have billions of people.
Yeah.
They're trying right now
Yeah.
to do like an Indian Tom and Dan.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure it out.
AI will help you with that one for
Yeah,
sure. The also like their market is so big that now their movies are starting to travel worldwide a little better. So we're seeing, especially since there's less movies this year due to the strikes and stuff, I'm seeing more and more on a week-to-week basis like a Indian-made movie, either Bollywood, Tollywood. You know, there's 3 separate film industries in India. India is so big. Which is wild. You know, we all think of Bollywood, right? That's what we call it.
Yeah.
That's
They got the dancing at the
the
end.
dancing,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that.
That's the Hindi film industry. There's also another one called Tollywood, and then there's a third one that
Polly and Tolly.
yeah, exactly. And there's a third one I don't know the name of, and they all make huge, big movies. They focus on action a lot and dancing. And now I'm seeing week to week a
I
different
hope it's just
Indian
Greg.
film in
I
our
hope
top
it's
10.
Bollywood, Tollywood,
and then
and Greg.
the Greg film industry.
It's got to be something weird.
But it's all dancing at the end, right?
No, not all dancing.
wow.
A lot of it is also action.
What did the Florida man just say? It's all dancing.
It's all just
Right. He yelled that too. He yelled that at you while holding a warm watermelon in the sun.
Hayseed sticking out of his mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
There's focus on dancing. I think the dancing I remember hearing or reading about is because they don't do sex in their movies at all. So
What's the next best thing?
the dancing replaces like the physical affection that they're trying to show for each other. They replace it with dancing, which is
If my wife
wild.
told me, like, hey, instead of what we normally do,
We're
we're just
gonna
going
dance.
to dance tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna learn this number real quick.
Is that why it's so Bob's crazy on the internet? Because they're deprived of sex in their movies?
Yeah,
I think
probably.
you're right.
Yeah.
So it's all, let me see you the
Yeah,
Bobs.
give me the vagine.
Yeah, they're dying for it probably because they're not getting it normally.
Bob's and vagine. It's a mediocre time with Bob's and vagine.
But it seems like they have a free market. So if you came out with a movie all about the Bobs, then they
No,
would
you
be
can't
go
do that.
crazy
Weekend
over
at
there, right?
Bob's.
I think there would be public pushback. I think maybe
Yeah.
also publicly and public facing, they're way more conservative.
Correct.
So if you do try to put out that movie, it is a free market, and the market will say, no, we don't want this. Actually, we might
Yeah.
even
That
like
is
But they
their-
want it.
protest
Yeah,
you.
it's
there
But
on
they,
the
but, they,
internet.
but they secretly want it though. That's the thing. Yeah,
Damn it.
that's called repression. So. And it's bad.
It is very bad.
But it's also funny. You don't let them get what they want.
Yeah.
Anyway. Speaking of remakes, I saw a new Crow. I keep saying it's coming out, and you're like, it's been out for a month.
No.
I have no idea.
End of August.
I look up new releases, and whatever they show me.
Dude, it's all
fair.
weird now. When you go to
I don't
look
know
up
what's
movies,
out.
I'll say like, "Hey, is this movie out?" And they'll be like, "Well, it isn't. It got released last year, limited."
Yes.
But it's coming out in 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, how do movies even work anymore?
Yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, it played at festivals,
Yeah.
but it's not on the release schedule yet.
Like
what
I
the
saw
heck?
Monkey Man when I shouldn't have seen it, apparently, because like now it's being released, and I don't even watch movies. I watched it a year ago.
Just upload it on the internet. It's easy.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how I find
that happens to a lot of people, too. They'll download a movie and watch it. And like, technically, this isn't out yet. You're not supposed to have a copy of this. But wait, we said the
Crow.
The Crow. That's another one where I feel like...
Is this like where they go, The Crow Origins?
they
Are they
should
doing one of those?
They,
The Crow Dark Side of the Mask.
They should have, but I think this is a reboot, so they're just calling it The Crow, which will then cause confusion because now we got like The Crow. I mean the 90s one, or The Crow. No, I mean the recent one. But this is another one where I think...
They should have just called it New Crow.
New Crow. New Crow would have been better. They should have called it the SoundCloud Crow because it looks like a SoundCloud rapper with all his tattoos
does
and
he?
stuff. He looks terrible. It's Bill Skarsgård, who I like, but he looks goofy as hell in this movie. And it's another one where I feel like they made the movie, they're excited about it, they made the movie, and then the people distributing it watch the movie, and they're like, oh no, let's not spend any money on marketing because it's coming out at the end of August. And I saw a few trailers a few months ago, and I go to the movies almost every week. I have not seen a Crow trailer in a while.
Oh, he looks like Miami Joker.
Yeah, he does.
Dude, he looks like Miami Joker.
Yeah, he looks absurd.
Hey, GTA, we gotta talk.
yeah.
You know that guy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the guy. Yeah.
It seems like no one really wanted this.
No.
Like
No, I don't know why they keep trying to make these either. And they've made a bunch of sequels. There's like 3 sequels that are direct to video.
And I watched the trailer, and it's the same exact thing.
Exact
it's like
same thing.
Guy with the shirt off and black jeans. He's in some sort of.
They shoot him in the boardroom, and he doesn't get shot.
Yeah.
He's in a warehouse, and a bunch of crows like start flying around like
But
like
now
a
they're CG
tornado.
crows. Yeah.
And then it's like, all right.
You should have seen
and
what
then he's
happens
like,
when I turn into Slug Man. All these slugs,
All
they
the
are
slugs
start swirling around.
and then he's fighting crime in some dystopian
He's getting revenge,
New York City, like underground, and it's just like, all right, we're done with it. We don't care.
And they're all like, "Where's their hideout?" Well, of course, it's in the dark warehouse.
Yes, the darkest
and then
warehouse.
they show up to the warehouse, and then he's pulling him under the table again.
Yeah, and then they injure the Crow, and he's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I'm almost gonna die," but then he kills the guy, but then he goes to the grave.
And then there's some love story, but he can't really love her because he's the undead, and he's like,
undead can't get boners. I don't know if you know that. Hey, did you hear? The Crow can't get a boner. Great job, Crow. He can fight crime, but he can't get it out.
That's the opposite of rigor mortis, so you would think it would be the other way. It looks bad. It looks bad. It does also look very violent, so I will see it just for the bloodshed of it all.
Yeah,
but
I forgot you're addicted to that.
I love that stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. I'm a Kill Bill fan.
When is Terrifier 3 coming out?
I don't think it's on the schedule just yet. I think the guy that makes those movies...
I thought they were going for Christmas because isn't it all based in Santa Claus?
Are they doing it?
I thought it was supposed to be before this Christmas, and it's supposed to be Santa Claus.
Oh, boy.
Like he kills Santa Claus.
Oh, really?
Or something real bad.
Something over the top like that?
Yeah, like something like a kid or something.
They have to outdo Terrifier 2, which I think is 3 hours long, which is ridiculous.
I did watch. I watched it just out of curiosity, and it's bad. It's a terrible movie. They use practical effects, and that's what makes it so gross. Like if I covered you in fake skin, and then I cut the fake skin off with a pair of scissors, and then you were covered in blood, and you pretended to scream, it's going to affect people.
I don't watch those movies because, I do find that stuff very effective.
Oh, it's rough.
And the thing with, like, movie violence, I like when it's over the top. I like again, Kill Bill. I like when someone gets their arm cut off and a fire hydrant's worth of blood sprays out of the stump.
Yeah.
I don't like in a movie when someone gets, like, poked with a needle, or their fingernails get pulled out like a torture scene, or their skin gets cut and ripped off. Like, something that seems very real and visceral gets to me right away. It's got to be over the top and crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else we got on there, T?
Well, I got 3 more sequels that we could talk about.
Sure.
One of them, like 2 I'm excited about. One of them I think no one wants again, kind of like The Crow.
Like The Crow.
Too. And even though The Crow's a remake, not a sequel technically, but I'll start with the one that I don't think anybody wants, which is Gladiator 2. Because
I love that movie. When it came out, the original Gladiator
No,
movie.
I like the original.
Huge movie.
And I, as a young boy or man, fell in love with the character of old
Maximus.
Now he's fat. What's his name?
Russell Crowe.
Yeah, Russell. I was like, this guy's rad.
Old 30-foot out of grunt.
I remember that Russell Crowe was such a vehicle for me as a non-movie man that I got tickets to Master and Commander.
Wow. It's you and 8 other people saw that movie in theaters.
Think about that for a second. I liked that movie so much, I went opening night to Master and Commander.
And that's why movies like that even get made, because Gladiator's a huge hit.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe becomes an overnight movie star.
And I loved Pirates and Boats. I was like,
yes.
It's going to be great. Oh,
and then he signs on to a movie that's like that, that's not that mainstream. It's a movie about shipping.
It was terrible.
And then people go see it as, it's Russell Crowe. It's a Gladiator. I'll go check this out. Not because of the movie itself, because of the movie star. That's how some movies get made sometimes. Without Russell Crowe, that movie never gets made. And the sequel, I don't know if anyone asked for it, but people are really responding well online. I'm seeing anyway. People respond really well to the first trailer that's online.
They seem excited.
Yeah, they do seem excited. People like them. They flood the Coliseum with water for a sea battle. Apparently, is that like a recent discovery now that's a new thing?
They used to do that.
Yeah, that they used to just fill the bottom bowl with water and then have little ships go out there and they would have a sea battle in front of everyone.
I feel like what happened with this movie is there was a whole movement online, and there still kind of is, where like
everybody loved Master and Commander. I better. They're mad at me.
That
now.
movie does
They're
have
like,
its
How
fans.
dare you, Dan?
The movie has its fans.
I
for
did
sure.
love the creaking of the boat. The sound design in that movie.
It'll put you right to sleep. It's
the
nice
sound design in that movie is chef's kiss.
Yeah.
There's this whole thing about people being obsessed with the Roman Empire, and then and I
that's not me. My wife's like, you think about Rome once a day? I go, no, but I think about porn 9 times a day.
I'm with Daniel. That's the only thing I ever thought about.
An old stand-up bit.
But it seems like they, the producers or someone saw this and were like, we need to come out with the Gladiator 2, and then because
they're thinking about
what
Rome.
Story could they really tell here with Gladiator 2? We already know the story, right?
What, he's going to be a slave?
Yeah.
He's fight for his freedom.
But this time it's the son of Maximus.
Okay.
But it's probably going to be a very similar story.
Yeah,
sure.
But I mean, so what else?
And Denzel's old ass is up there.
Yeah, doing training. They're going full training.
And
day.
he has he's got a gray bowl Caesar cut. he looks like old Bill Cosby up there looking for fill the Coliseum full of ladies.
So that's it. So it's not out yet.
That's coming out November, like right around Thanksgiving, actually, which is a big week for new releases. That's another big budget R-rated film that
I think it's
surprised
do
they
well.
made it. Yeah,
because
I think so.
all of my friends, you're one of one that said I don't know. Most people I know that like the first one are like, oh, I gotta go.
Yeah, I was even it's at the movie theater, but I was at the movie theater a couple weeks ago, waiting at the bar to get a drink, and I heard the guy getting a drink ahead of me talking to the bartender about new movies, and they were talking about Gladiator. And one guy was like, man, I hope it's good. The trailer looks good, but I don't know because, I like the original so much. So people are out there, in public talking about it. I am interested in seeing how much it does end up making.
So these 2 sequels I'm actually interested in watching because the first movies were good. They got Moana 2 coming out.
Sure.
And
is this
a
cartoon?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When are we getting live action Moana?
Next year, 2025,
Okay.
I think, maybe 2026. They're working on it right now.
And so
I'm more interested, I think, in that because is The Rock gonna play Maui?
He is.
Yeah.
That'll be weird.
Yeah.
Right?
And it'll be the first story.
I think so. They're just redoing the first one live action. And then the sequel, which is interesting about Moana 2, is they were developing it for streaming. For Disney Plus. It was going to be a Disney Plus release. And then as they made the movie, and first they saw their schedule, we have a lack of movies coming out, and then they saw how Moana 2 was shaping up.
This is as good as The Crow.
They're like, yeah, this might even be better. So they're like, let's go ahead and put this out in theaters. They shifted strategies pretty late in the game and decided to put it out in theaters instead. And I think it's going to pay off well. It's going to make a ton of money for them.
Stingray Grandma come back?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
does.
how you thinking?
In a Stingray Corvette. Yeah. Now she can change, and she can morph her body into different types of items.
Aqua Transmorpher.
Yeah, she's an aqua transmorpher.
And the next sequel.
Finally, we have a genius in here.
that my sons will really be interested in, and I actually like the first two movies, is Sonic 3.
Oh, sure.
Dude, the Sonic movies, like, they get no shade.
They're surprisingly fun.
They get no shade from anybody that, like, you may not like them, but you're not going to go like, oh, it sucks.
No, and it's, again, it goes in with the whole video game genre is the next big genre. Sonic did help kind of kick that off a bit when the first one was a surprise hit 4 years ago already. It was pre-pandemic when the first one came out, right? Like 2019, 2020?
I believe so.
2019.
Yeah.
Remember his weirdo teeth and everybody was mad?
Yeah, the ugly Sonic.
Yeah, everybody's like, Sonic, you made Sonic ugly.
Which was a crazy decision. Why not make him look like the video game
well,
that's
been established
for decades?
Now they've given Sonic and they're big ones.
Yeah, they got the guy that did Batman and Robin to make it.
I still think they did that for publicity. As just
that's an expensive publicity.
I guess you're right.
Yeah, but I mean, it worked. It got people talking about it more.
I don't think they did it, but once they realized where they were, they instantly started using it.
Sure,
that's what I think.
Lean into it. You can use it. Yeah, and then it's also one of the few movies. It's funny. It's a franchise suit. The only movies now that Jim Carrey does. Carrey really doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, and he's really good as Eggman.
He makes me laugh.
Yeah,
he makes me laugh in these movies. Yeah, absolutely. And they also have the TV show. You know about the show on Paramount Plus?
No.
There's a Knuckles show.
Oh, yes. My sons have watched it all.
They already watched it? Yeah. Idris Elba as Knuckles, so I'm sure he'll pop up in the movies too. I think they're also trying to do something with the character of Shadow, which is Shadow. It's Sonic, but it's Black Sonic with a gun.
Yeah.
Black
Sonic with a gun.
Yeah, it seems
racist.
It sounds racist. But that's what it is.
Did you just say
that's
that?
What it is.
I just turned around and looked at your face. I was like, who is behind me?
That's what it is.
Some white dude in a boardroom's like, let's give him a gun.
Yeah, exactly.
I know what they like.
Exactly.
I forgot about this. And
give the red one alcohol.
I don't know. Oh, boy.
Is there a yellow one?
Make him small.
So I forgot to mention this sequel, which everybody's excited about, which we talked a little bit about, but they released a new trailer.
I'm in now.
Then my wife showed me, and I was like, this is a good trailer.
The original trailer was not good.
Is Beetlejuice 2.
Beetlejuice 2, a.k.a. Beetlejuice, looks surprisingly good.
It does.
Yes.
That first trailer sucked for me.
I thought it was just okay.
I didn't like it, and I thought it looked unfinished and rushed. And
Sure.
I complained to you about the makeup that was on Keaton. It looked like the shot was too perfect.
Yeah.
So I could see like lines of makeup in his face.
It's digital now. It's high def. You can actually see the makeup.
You gotta fix that. You gotta blend it.
Yes, really
like
better.
Seriously, put a filter on it, man. Everybody else does.
Yeah.
But this trailer, it looks really weird, and it looks like the story's gonna be hard to follow and complex. And I'm like, oh, that's Tim Burton.
Yeah, it looks fun. It looks like it takes a lot of it takes place in the land of the dead. So you got all the cool like effects of the creature designs, the people designs and stuff look cool.
Keaton looks great.
Keaton looks great.
Let's take a moment to talk about Winona Ryder. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
She didn't age.
No, she looks fantastic.
They have a picture of her as a kid in the movie, and then they have her with her same haircut. I'm like, holy crap!
What, the 35 years later?
Yeah, she looks amazing.
No, she looks great. She was.
Always had a crush on her.
I was surprised. I found out recently. I mean, I just haven't realized that she was 16 years old when she did Beetlejuice, which is wildly young.
It's Tom's favorite movie.
That's the one he prefers.
Yeah. Also, she kind of reinvented her career with Stranger Things.
Absolutely.
And then now with Beetlejuice, I wonder if she's going to have like a renaissance, second part of her career.
Maybe that'll get her back into movies, get her cast in movies again.
I like
for
hot
sure.
shoplifting Winona Ryder. That's when you knew she was grinding on that wood.
Yeah.
When she was stealing things from like a Hot Topic.
Yeah, she had the money, but she was like, nope, I'm taking these jeans.
Yeah. She just wanted to feel again.
Yes.
It was back.
She was numb.
It was back when we got less stories, so like a celebrity shoplifting was
huge.
Well, it was huge. We're like, oh my God, she's shoplifting.
Why would she do that?
Yeah.
And now it doesn't even matter.
That's so true.
Yeah, it's like a small nothing. It wouldn't even make the news if a celebrity shoplifted. No,
that's very true. Yeah.
It's also not political, so it's not going to make the news.
So the Beetlejuice 2, that's going to set records, I think, in the movie theater.
It'll be interesting. It might set a record for, I think comes out the week after Labor Day, so it might set like September records, like month-specific records. I could see it making a ton of money easily. But then also Disney's banking on it'll make a good amount of money at box office, and then it's another thing to boost their Disney Plus app to get people to sign up for that, Now it's like a theatrical release. It does two things. It makes a little bit of extra money for your movie, and then it builds awareness for your movie so that when it does come out on streaming, people have to look for it, and they come to your streaming service to get it.
Who's getting the breakfast?
Who's getting the breakfast?
Is it going to be Perkins, Denny's? Who's getting
the
the
Beetlejuice breakfast?
Beetlejuice breakfast.
IHOP. The IHOP
It's an
Beetlejuice.
IHOP?
Yes.
Because normally when you got something like this floating around, somebody's getting the breakfast.
Yeah, they'll do the Sonic breakfast.
Perkins got the Lord of the Rings. I remember that. I got some purple pancakes with like a ring in the center of them. There can be only one.
Yeah, for Sonic to give you blue pancakes.
Yeah, I wonder who's getting the merchandise of Beetlejuice, or is it too adult because it's a...
Oh, fair. Maybe they'll go to a Waffle House you get at 3 in the morning only.
Yeah, it is a little adult.
Yeah.
But it'll probably be less, I guess, adult than the first one, just because of like how.
And no Alec
kids,
Baldwin,
Sure.
which is
know.
nice.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about him. He's good now, right?
He's mostly good.
He's good.
He's got to deal with civilly, but he's good.
But OJ
he
handled
don't-
that just fine.
Exactly.
No problem.
You get other people to give you your money. You hide out in Vegas. You're good.
And this year for Halloween, you go as an armorer, just like OJ did, right? You do something terrible.
That was crazy.
Make
You
people
just
hate you.
like an LAPD cop, right? That was
The
wild.
balls of that man.
Holy cow.
So
Arresting. Nothing.
Yeah.
if you want to hear more about movies, Cinema Crespedeso podcast is Chris Crespo's movie podcast.
Yeah, patreon.com/Crespedeso.
Go throw him some money, like and subscribe, and be a part of his movie world.
And also, pay attention in the next few weeks. You guys may have heard about this off mic, but I'm producing a show for our mutual friend Matt, aka Cabin.
Yeah.
It is a movie-based show, which is probably part of the reason why I came to meet that, and I have equipment. So I'm producing this show that'll be coming out soon. We already have a couple episodes recorded and in the can.
The
So-
premise
Awesome, but we heard
is
about
really
it. It's
cool.
yeah, I
cool
think it's a fun
Yeah.
premise. He came to me with it, and I was like, I'm on board, buddy. Let's do
Yeah.
this.
Well,
So,
Matt's a smart dude,
He
so
is
it
very
doesn't
smart.
surprise me.
absolutely, yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
That was super fun.
Would you have any interest in sticking around for one more small segment? We'll just do like series shows and
Sure.
a couple documentaries.
Yeah.
Where's that one go?
That's Monday 1 and 2.
We got 3, right?
Yeah, we got 3,
20 minutes.
and then we'll come back and do another 20, and we'll just
And did you record with Matt already? You recorded with him, right?
not yet.
Not yet. Okay, you just talked to him.
We recorded a fantasy. We did our fantasy show, and then we did a show with him, and that's coming out on next Monday.
Okay.
So-
Okay. Oh, I got my drink. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna pee too.
All right. Yeah, we recorded episodes on the chat. Chat's gonna get an exclusive. We did episodes on Kindergarten Cop and Can't Hardly Wait.
Okay.
And it looks like
Oh
we're-
yeah.
and then we're gonna do Alien next. And it's fun for me because I do the least amount of work.
Yeah.
These two guys, Matt and Tyler, are doing all the work. I just hang back, give them some facts, and then make sure the fucking mics are on.
Yeah.
recording.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, it'll be fun. Looking forward to seeing how people react to it.
Yeah, I was talking to him about sticking nowadays. If you have like a premise and very specific topic in podcasting, that's
That
the key.
helps.
Like if it's too
Yeah.
broad, it's like, well, now you're just getting mixed in with 10,000 other shows.
Yeah,
and
like I
doing-
do a comedy podcast with
Yeah,
you and a billion
yeah,
other
yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yeah. But I think they're gonna do. Did you come up with the Who's the Baddie to simplify the title?
No, I didn't.
Because I remember he's mentioned talking to you about it, and he told you the title was going to be like Johnny Lawrence wasn't the asshole or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, it's too niche to reference Johnny Lawrence and to try to make it more generic. So I think we're going with a more generic name.
I think that's smart. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just even like we realized that even having like a corporate time or a mediocre time in front of our show
Yeah.
gets confusing sometimes. That anybody out of this audience is like, because they see a corporate time and
Like, is this a business show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately, that's
That's my phone.
No,
because it wasn't never meant to.
I know all about naming your show a bad name that people don't understand. or
Well, it's
get.
more fun. It's more fun to have a bad name.
I think so. I mean, it's easier to find online. I don't have to say, scroll down to the 5th link to find mine.
I have never seen. I've never had Taco Bell breakfast, Shred Bear. I've heard it's good though.
Oh, for
Sam used to
for
swear by
Beetlejuice,
it.
Beetlejuice.
Sam used to swear by it.
The Taco Bell breakfast.
Yeah, she said it was really good. I have yet to try it.
A morning chalupa.
I'm sure my daughter would like it.
Oh, kids for sure. Kids for sure would love it.
She likes her favorite foods now are burritos now. Breakfast, like I got her into breakfast burritos.
Nice.
Now. Finally.
Oh yeah. Put her on the good path.
At first, she liked regular burritos, and I'm like, breakfast burritos. She's like, no, that's gross. I'm like, it's the breakfast in a burrito. I'm like, nah. Then, of course, she has to go somewhere, try it on her own, and then come back and tell me about it.
Yeah.
She's like, you got to try this breakfast burrito. I'm like, what the? And then I'm like, okay.
She's listening, but it's just in the back of her mind.
Yeah, if she finds it on her own, it's fine.
She doesn't want to admit that you're influencing her.
Oh, we didn't even get a chance to talk about Long Legs, and we didn't get a chance to talk about that new movie with Hugh Grant, where it's the religious
Heretic.
Yeah, have you seen that?
No, that comes out
that looks scary
in a few
as shit,
weeks.
Dude.
It looks pretty good.
It looks really good.
They're showing that trailer a lot too.
Definitely
in front of
looks
movies.
better than Tuesday as far as the A24 movie.
Yeah. It does look like a better
He
A24.
looks so creepy in that.
And Hugh Grant really doesn't do like bad guy stuff too often, you know. So it's fun to see him this kind of role.
I think he's a really good actor.
And I thought I did see Long Legs, and I thought I was disappointed by that one for sure.
That sucks because the voice that Nick Cage uses is terrifying.
Yeah, but then there's times when he's so over the top. He's so Nick Cage.
Does he look weird?
He looks very weird. He looks like, I think they did this on purpose. He looks like he had bad plastic surgery. Like his cheeks are all puffed up in weird ways. So I think he's supposed to be an ex-glam rocker, maybe. I'm not sure. There's a lot of unexplained stuff in that movie that's like, I don't know. It could have been better. I wanted to like it so much. And in the end, I was just like, meh.
Oh, yeah. We can talk a little bit about that, too.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about A24 and then what the...
I'll bring us back. Here we go. And 3, 2. Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
We asked Chris Crespo to stick around to talk a little bit about a couple
and
other
he
movies.
Said no, and he left. So it's just the two of us here. No, I'm kidding. He's here. He's here.
What's up, guys?
He's here. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I figured we'd talk about some series out there and maybe a couple other movies that we forgot to mention.
I'm watching TV in the mornings. You'd be proud of me.
Oh, yeah?
Finally watching TV.
Nice.
Yeah, you've been watching Receivers.
Yeah, but I'm going to have to, that's almost over. I'm on like episode 8, so I'm going to have to transition over to like, I'm going to start watching, I think I'm going to start watching movies really fast.
On 1.75.
Yeah. Burn them.
So what is up with the A24? I guess is it a production house?
It's it's a production company
Okay.
based out of New York. They've been around now for, I think, sneakily they've been around for like 15 years, maybe a little longer. But they've established a name for themselves as like, you know, just by putting out quality movies overall, mostly. I'm not saying all of their movies are great, but they're known for quality. They're known for weird, taking chances on directors, first-time filmmakers. Their biggest movie to date, I think, is Civil War, which came out this year.
Yeah.
And that made maybe 60 or 70 million total. Before that, their biggest movie, like box office-wise, was Everything Everywhere All at Once, which topped out about 60, 65. So they don't make like blockbusters or huge movies, but their budgets are also all super low.
I never get tired of asking someone what type of American they are.
It's a funny line.
It's a funny line.
It is a funny line.
And it always rattles people.
It does.
Oh, they hate it.
Like, I don't know. And even in the movie, in that moment when he asked that, you're like, what's he asking for? What kind of, like, what does he mean exactly? It's
Somebody
very,
at
it's
our
very
door?
fascinating.
Yeah. I'm not wondering who.
This is a random. This is where we do guest.
Here
This
we
is
go.
where we do guest, rando guest scheduling.
The double guests. I'm so excited to be on this end of it for once. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
This is very exciting, actually.
Tom's outside talking to somebody. He can't see, I can ignore it, but Tom can't.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to ignore it.
Oh, if somebody was knocking on the door?
Yeah, I'd be like, I gotta stop. I have to go look because it's. I mean,
Really? You can't just pretend like you're not here?
no. And then
I do that all the time.
And then
there.
they can hear you right through the
I
windows.
do it all, no. You got to stay still.
Still.
You stay still like you are.
But you keep the show recording.
You stay still like you're a soldier, and then you don't like. I do this all the time. When I'm here by myself, when you leave, when the door, somebody knocks on the door, they could be banging, going, "Help!" I freeze. And I stay still and I don't move at all.
It was the Orkin man.
Oh,
Why?
Wait a minute, we don't have Orkin.
No, I know. Yeah.
Was he selling?
He was confused about what this building was. And then he was like, where do I go inside?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, is he old man?
No, he looked.
He's back.
No, yeah,
He's back out there again.
I'm not going in there.
Yeah, okay. See, you know. You got to ignore.
I thought it was a guest that we forgot, but this has been happening to us
Sure.
recently.
I know. Yeah.
Okay, this is the last week that we got to really give it a good heave-ho before we get to go on vacation.
Yeah.
And we've been working really hard to get out new shows. but we've been working so hard to get out new shows that all of our other shows are A, suffering, and B, we're double booking. We're in the weeds. We're booking this. We're like, go, get a weird job, get this, get that. Because we have figured out that if we could just poop something out for you guys, it's better.
Is that better than nothing? I think
I'm talking
better.
myself out of it.
It's either that or 22 minutes of static.
We should have just done best stuff.
Best stuffs are good.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. They're horrible.
They're not good. You know they're not good. You lied to. You looked right in my. I almost cursed. You looked me right in the eyes, Crespo, and you lied to me.
I'm trying to help you guys out.
So, okay, let's talk about
I'm glad we did that on the air. That's good.
Before we get into the
I killed a couple minutes.
documentary and a series I want to talk about, the Nick Cage movie, Long Legs.
Long Legs, yes.
Daniel told me it's a horror movie.
Yes.
And
R-rated horror movie. It just made $45 million in 2 weeks, which is a lot of money for being a low-budget R-rated serial killer movie.
It looks scary too.
The marketing's good. It looks scary.
It's satanic, right?
Yeah,
I love a good satanic.
The hook is
movie.
that it gets satanic, that it's a Hail Satan type of thing.
That used to be the thing, man. When I was a kid,
Yeah.
I was like terrified of that. Like you'd go in the woods and you'd see a milk crate next to like a burned piece of cardboard with a pentagram on it. I'd be like, oh my God, they killed a woman here.
Yeah, dude.
Like as a little boy, I'd be like, the satanic people were in the woods burning and they kiss each other's butt. Like, it was like stuff like that. That's what I thought. As a kid, because I didn't really know sex, but I was like, I know they're doing butt things.
They're doing butt
and
things.
it's satanic in the woods.
That's classic old school satanic panic right there, which I feel like is coming back in a way, in a fun way.
We
Yeah,
need it back.
satanic panic
we
is
were
fun.
a better country when we were scared of Satan.
Yeah, well, it's happening now. You know, we're gonna get our satanic chaplains in schools here in Florida pretty soon, so we're gonna get a nice round of it.
Even, equal time.
Equal time, equal screen time. I went and saw it. I saw it opening weekend. And I was disappointed. I really wanted to like it. I thought it looked good. I love Nick Cage movies.
How long are his legs in this movie?
They're an average length, and they never even explain
damn it.
what the title is. They never even say why he's called Long Legs or anything. The movie is frustrating in a number of ways, and I really like the first half hour, 45 minutes. It's got great atmosphere. It looks good. Nick Cage is pretty creepy in it. But then as they reveal more of the story and what they're doing, and the Satan stuff comes in, which should be the fun stuff, the movie, for me, really starts falling apart.
Yeah.
At the end, it doesn't connect. And I was just, when it was over, I was like, that was it. That was the movie. Like, that was the movie you wanted to tell me. I don't know. I wanted more from it for sure. You know,
I think people that have seen it are requesting a Tom Van review. They like you watching movies that are terrible, and then you coming in and yelling.
Tom, you would hate it because it does the thing you would hate it because it does the thing you hate the most. So it doesn't explain a lot of stuff. It just goes to the next thing and expects you to go along with it. And I've listened to your reviews. You're the type of guy who you want to know why.
He can't do nothing for nothing. You
have to explain me why this is happening.
Just give me a why. Give me one line of dialogue why. And there's a couple times I felt that in the movie. I was like, why? Why is this one thing happening? Or why is this one thing happening? And they never do it. And I think the movie suffers because of it.
Oh, the fact that they never mention why it's called Long Legs?
Yeah, that too.
Would drive me crazy.
Yeah, he signs his letters. He calls himself Long Legs, but there's no explanation as to why.
Yeah, like someone like when he was a child, they used to bully him because they're like, "Hey, long legs," something. I mean, it's
they used to call me Long Legs. He says,
I mean, is this like literally be my arch enemy?
Yeah, like I used to work on stilts or something. Never, nothing like that. It's I'm surprised it's doing so well, and it is getting good reviews. And I like that it's making money because it's an original film, R-rated film, making money at the box office. You know, it's good for everyone overall. I just wish the movie itself was better.
Here's a clip from the director, basically telling everyone in the world that there's actually no particular meaning behind the character's name. I just like the way it sounds.
Yeah, you probably saw a spider.
Yeah,
just make it up.
Yeah,
you can't even think fast and think of an origin story.
Think of one little thing. I mean, even you just say he was bullied as a kid, like that right there. One line of him saying
simple.
that, and then I'd be like, okay, at least now we know why. It's stupid, but we know, as opposed to leaving it up to nothing. Also, the director Osgood Perkins. Yep. He's the son of Anthony Perkins from the Norman Bates, the Psycho movies and stuff. Yeah, so he's Hollywood Nepo legacy over there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, very, very interesting. And Nick Cage looks weird in this.
Looks very weird, going very over the top. And that's another thing. I love Nick Cage, but also watching this movie, for the most part, it never didn't feel like Nick Cage in makeup. Like, I wasn't
Gotcha.
looking at the character of Longlegs. I was looking at Nick Cage
Gotcha.
playing a big character.
Unlike the guy who plays, is it Penguin?
Oh, Colin Farrell?
Have you seen the makeup job they do on Colin Farrell?
No.
It makes you wonder why they cast Colin Farrell.
Right. It's so good. You're like, well, then why didn't you just get a big fat guy?
Yeah, why don't you just cast Richard Kind or
It's
someone?
so
yeah.
good that I'm like, who the hell is that? And my wife, Andrea, goes, that's Colin Farrell. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And it absolutely is.
It absolutely is.
It's perfect makeup. Like,
He-
perfect
he,
makeup.
He looks incredible. And that show, I think, is going to be very good, too. Because they moved it. Warner Brothers Discovery, it was supposed to be a, quote, Max original. But they now have the data that shows on their streaming service, anything that's labeled a Max original underperforms. People don't click on that. But if it's labeled an HBO series, people will overperform, and they click on those. So they moved The Penguin, a few shows. The Penguin, a Green Lantern show that they're doing, a Dune prequel show that they're doing. They moved them all from Max Originals to HBO, so that when they'll be on the HBO channel, and when you pull up on the streaming service, it'll with the static, and it says HBO. They want all that attached to it because that literally helps people to click on it and to watch it and stuff.
Could I, like, low-key on every show we put out, just put Joe Rogan Presents?
You should.
And then colon, a mediocre time without, just like, or link it to something
Yeah,
that
until
has,
they find out, just do it, man.
Yeah.
Like, what are they gonna do? Get
Why
mad
not?
at you? Come on.
Yeah.
So I also saw a documentary that's coming out on Netflix called Skywalkers. I don't know if you saw this.
Oh wait, yeah, isn't it about? It's like a love story, right? They're
Yes.
the people that go up on the tall like
Yeah, they're
buildings
called
and stuff.
rooftoppers. And so, Daniel, you were
They could
familiar
have thought of a better name, I think.
with the people that climb up like cranes on the top of buildings.
Aren't they normally Russian?
And then,
Or
yeah, they're all
Ukrainian?
over, you
Yeah.
know, like.
Well, they are all over, but where I see it, I think it's because
Yeah.
it's in places that are more lawless, right?
Yeah.
So you see,
Yeah, it's
like,
Easier to
hard
get
to-
up to tall
yeah,
onto
yeah.
cranes and stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
you see them in like the Eastern Bloc countries. They're like flipping from building to building.
And you hear
Yeah.
about at least one or two a year that they fall and dead, and they're like, "This TikToker fell off."
I
a
never
cliff.
hear
Didn't they
that.
show
You never hear
them-
those?
I
Every
never
now and then
hear
hear about those.
Yeah, there was one famous guy that fell.
Yeah.
And it's always eerie because they'll show, like, here's moments before his death. And
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
I don't want to
And
watch
he's like, "What's up?
That's crazy.
Hardcore, dude!"
They did make a movie about that. Did you ever see Fall?
No.
There's a movie called Fall that came out maybe.
I know what happens based on the title.
Yo, 100%. It delivers on the title. It came out a couple years ago, and it's about two girls. One of them is like they're climbers, like they're sort of free
Oh,
climbers.
I've seen that. I
they
saw
come-
this on the airplane.
Wait a minute.
Oh, you saw it on
Yes.
an airplane? Perfect for watching movies
Oh,
like
yeah.
Fall on
Cliffhanger?
airplane.
This is Cliffhanger.
This is one of the worst movies ever made.
Really? I
watched
liked it. I thought it was good.
Oh, you liked it?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I
Oh,
thought it was
Chris.
very tense.
You know, I went back and watched Cliffhanger.
Um,
The opening. Remember when he drops the girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That still affects me. I went back and I watched that scene where he drops her.
Yeah, well, she slips out of the glove.
Yeah,
The
she
glove
slips out the glove, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god! Like I rewatched that. I turned off my phone, and Maisie comes in. She, "What's wrong, Daddy?" I was like crying.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
And then they spoofed it for the Ace Ventura sequel when he's climbing and he drops a raccoon. Do you remember that? That's how
Yeah,
big
yeah,
that
yeah.
movie was, that they spoofed
Yeah,
it like
yeah,
less
yeah.
than a year later in another movie. I enjoyed Fall. You didn't like it? I mean, it's a very simple premise. These two girls climb this giant tower and then they screw up and they
Yeah.
get stuck up there.
but then the ladder falls down, and then the one girl falls on the satellite. So they try to get back up. Oh, stupid.
Is that the review?
that's
you
a
want,
Tom Van
everybody?
review.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a Tom Van review.
Girl falls, but
How
stupid.
many stupids
Are
do
you,
you
oh,
give
you
it?
want to hear me complain
2 out
about
of 5
something?
stupids.
I give it 5 stupids.
So here's another series that I was excited about when they released new episodes because me and my family have been watching it since it came out.
The
And-
Dragons.
No, not the House of the Dragons. But
You
we
watched
it.
that with their sons.
No,
Oh,
not
my
with my
goodness.
sons.
Crazy that they watched that.
No,
Moms should not be watching that with their sons.
Sweet Tooth. So
Oh, yeah, the Netflix one, yeah.
The third season of Sweet Tooth. came
Third
out.
season?
Oh, is it second season?
I have no idea. I haven't watched any of it.
I
know about
think
it, though.
I thought it was third
Wow.
season.
I think it might be third.
So
That's incredible.
we watched the first and second seasons, and so we were excited when the third season
Isn't
came
it
out.
dark? Like a little dark?
It is dark, and it doesn't have to be
Quirky dark?
No. It's too okay. And this is if you were looking forward to watching it, stop listening right now because I'm not gonna ruin the ending or anything. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna ruin
The show.
a particular scene that happened in the movie that didn't need to be in there that caused Max some like emotional distress.
That's good. That's good.
I like this.
So in the the series Sweet Tooth, obviously it's an end of the world type of deal. They got the sick.
That
and
sounds fun.
there's
Maisie, come in here. There's an end of the world movie on.
No, but that's always been like that. And then there's like the hybrid children.
No, I understand. I'm just the choice of doing that is so weird to me.
So they're trying to get to this boat, and they finally get to the boat. They're trying to get to Alaska, blah blah blah. Anyway, so they go on the boat, and they find out that the sick is infiltrated the boat. And so Big Man and then the other guy that's with Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth is a little deer boy. And so,
God, I don't watch this kind of stuff. I watch the news every afternoon, and then I go to bed at 5.
So he's kind of immune to the disease because he's a hybrid. So then they find
his
out
antlers keep people away.
They find out everybody died on the ship, right?
How do they find that out?
Because Sweet Tooth finds their dead corpses, and they're all dead. And then the sick's there because the purple flower. Anyway, again, stop listening if you
if
don't
you're
want
a
to
fan
spoil it.
of the show Sweet Tooth.
So then Sweet Tooth is like, I know what I have to do. I have to just clean all the dead bodies out of here one by one. But so then you see the corpses, and then they're like hugging their loved ones and stuff. Like it's real dark.
They're hugging the dead body?
No, like the corpses.
Or like they died hugging each other.
Yeah, they died. Like a lovers
embrace thing.
But the families, kids, or whatever.
And he's just pushing them off the side of the boat. Because that's what I would do. I'd just be pushing them off the side of the boat.
I don't want to smell them. Get out of here.
He's a deer baby. So
I stab him with my antlers and fling him over.
No. So it's hard for him to this deer baby.
He's weak?
Well, no, he doesn't want to wrap up each dead body and push him off the side of the boat.
Ask the big man to do it.
No. Well, he'll get sick. The deer babies.
Oh, he's immune, so he's the only one that can clean the boat.
Yeah. So then he just one by one takes all the dead bodies.
Well, let's
and
talk
then
about this
throws
for a
them
second.
overboard.
If me and you and Crespo
montage.
were on a boat, and the only person that could clean up the boat is a baby immune to the sickness, we're letting the baby clean the body.
No, yeah. But I'm more mad at the writers for writing this huge long scene of the deer baby just throwing dead bodies one by one.
Yeah.
And then
does he get it done?
And he gets it done.
He's a good worker. He's a hard worker.
But he also he realizes he's like gives each one a funeral, and then it's like
well, you're taking too long.
Each one.
Yeah. I would maybe do that for the first 5.
Yeah, no, mass funeral.
How about this, writers? Listen, my kids are watching. How about you just say, hey, I'm going to send the deer baby to clean up, and then just skip to where he opens the door.
You wanted the scene to be like, and action. He's like, hey, I'm going to go clean up those dead bodies because I'm immune. Bye, big guy. And he leaves, and then they fast forward.
And then cut to a clean boat.
And then he cuts it, and then you put dirt on his face like he's been working hard, and he's like, all right, I'm done.
All
That's all that has to be done.
Time for an ice cold beer.
Yeah, because guess what? It bothers my son Max because he's emotional, and then he's just.
I wouldn't like that part either.
Yeah, he's like, how about you throw all these dead families overboard?
Yeah, especially if they're hugging each other. It's the same reason.
That's a little far.
It's the same reason everybody's sharing the meme of the movie Up, and they're showing the meme of the grandpa standing behind the lady that eventually dies, and then they're in the place. And they had a baby, and the baby died, and on the back it says, like, you and your baby. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Too far.
And they
So
show
sad.
it, and they're like, this one goes out to the mothers that are still... I'm like, what the hell are you doing? It's a cartoon.
People are ridiculous.
Don't do that.
Yeah. There are some movies, and then like
Sorry, I didn't mean to scream at you.
I was also, or any series that you've been watching.
Series-wise, I've been watching on Apple. There's a really good Jake Gyllenhaal show called Presumed Innocent, which is based on a book and also got turned into a Harrison Ford movie back in 1990, where he's a prosecutor who is accused himself of murdering a coworker. So he's on trial, and the whole point is that a lot of the evidence, circumstantial evidence, points to him.
Oh, this is the one where he cheats on his family.
Yes.
And then, like, he cheats, but he doesn't kill the girl. They say this in the trailer.
Well,
but,
yeah.
But basically, it's like, it's one of those, and I hate these. Because I've never been caught cheating before, and hopefully I won't. but if I did, and the person was dead, that's gonna be sticky. That's a sticky one.
I think it's super good. It's 8 episodes. Episode 8 comes out this week, so if people start watching it now.
It
they
makes
can
me
pretty much binge the
uncomfortable
whole
when he has
thing.
to face his wife again, right?
He has to face her again several times. Like, there's new revelations about their relationship, and he has to keep going back to her and be like, I didn't tell you about that part either.
Does it
it's
make
crazy.
it better for the wife that the person he cheated on with is dead?
Well, yes.
Or does it make it worse? Or does
Unless-
it make it worse because of how sticky it is that you supposedly killed the person?
Yeah, it's only better if she's dead if your husband is also not accused of that person's murder.
Correct. So
Yeah.
this could end up working out for him.
What if you? Like, I think Crystal. If Crystal, like, I cheated on you, but I was so mad at myself, I killed the person.
I choked her out.
It probably, it
Yeah.
probably
And
would
now
make
I'm
her
up for
feel.
murder charges.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, so you do love me.
It'd make her feel a little bit better, right?
A little,
have to call her out.
a little better.
I asked the tough questions, man. I asked tough questions.
Yeah,
on
no,
this
I think you're right. A little
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
I asked the tough ones.
So I like that show. I also finished watching Clipped, that 6-episode miniseries on FX about the Donald Sterling.
Magic
Johnson.
He has
Oh,
AIDS.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Ed,
Don't bring the black guys to my game.
Ed O'Neill was
Donald-
great on that. Yeah,
Sterling.
yeah. The Donald Sterling show is. I really enjoyed that.
What happened to that lady? Do they do a real life at the
V Stiviano?
Yeah, do they do a live thing at the end, like kind
Like catching up with her?
Yeah.
I can't remember if they did or
Because
didn't.
she's kind of like, I think once that all
I think
happened,
she kind of faded away.
she sailed off into. She's
Yeah.
just like, I'm not gonna be a part of this
I'm
anymore.
not gonna try the celebrity thing anymore.
I'm
Yeah,
out.
it's crazy to watch that show and see how they portray her, like all the outfits she wears and stuff, and then to go back and look at the real life pictures from 2013 and how they nailed her outfits
Yeah.
and all her weird behavior during those days, trying to get fame off of the whole situation. It's a really fun, good show. I really like
And
that.
he's still an amazing actor. Does a great job with
O'Neill,
Donald.
absolutely, yeah. And Lawrence Fishburne as Doc Rivers, even though he looks nothing like him, he's still
Yeah.
like good casting. They have these weird scenes with him and LeVar Burton that makes me wonder if they're based on real life or if it's a writer's invention, but they're awesome scenes with him. I really, really enjoyed that one for sure.
Nice.
And speaking of Gladiator on our previous episode,
Yep.
there's a Roman gladiatorial show on Peacock that just came out. I can't remember the name of it, but it has Anthony Hopkins, and it pretty much looks like Gladiator, the TV show. And they also do a thing where they're flooding the Colosseum to have like sea battles in there. So it's wild that there's like two pieces of art entertainment doing the same thing that hasn't been done before. Which is why I wonder if it's like a recent archaeological discovery. Like, we think these are aqueducts that they used to fill the Colosseum, you know?
You know, they just recently, last week, they, and I guess we all kind of assumed this,
Mm-hmm.
but they recently found pathways where they realized that the Egyptians were using series of locks to float the stones to the pyramid sites.
Oh.
That it wasn't humans. It wasn't like slave people, like with stones and they're, that
And
we
drag-
all.
and
the
dragging
log
them.
rolling.
Yeah, that's not.
They were floating them
would do
down
some of
water.
that, but most of it was they drop an area like an area of stone or whatever in the river,
Yeah.
and then they divert the river to a different area, and then build these huge mega rafts, and then put the stone on that and float them down to where they needed to be.
Wow.
And that's how they were able to move
Yeah,
it
see,
all around.
we're always figuring stuff out.
Yeah, they just found that out last week. So
You guys know dinosaurs have feathers? That's crazy.
yeah. Disgusting.
Weird birds.
Oh, and then we'll end with, I know Crystal, this is one of her favorite plays, but they made a movie out of Wicked.
Okay.
And I'm not
Yeah.
sure if they've done that before.
No, this is the first movie. And
Okay.
it's weird that it's not in the marketing, but it's Wicked Part 1.
Wicked is great.
It's a two-parter.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're hiding that in the marketing. Also, and they're hiding in the marketing that it's a musical. Because it's based on a Broadway play, a Broadway musical.
Of course it's a musical.
Ariana Grande is in it, and Cynthia Erivo. I mean, they're singers. Of course
Yeah.
it's a musical, but they're hiding that it's a musical. There's no singing in the movie, in the trailer.
Interesting. I wonder if
I think it's because publicly, overall, people are like, they respond less to musicals. So the same thing happened with Wonka.
I ain't going to that.
Yeah, people are like, I don't want to see no musical. So Wonka, when that trailer came out, they hid that was a musical. It's fully a song and dance musical. And then it made a bunch of money because people went and saw it. Also, what was the one? Mean Girls. They made an adaptation of the Mean Girls Broadway musical. And that's another one where if you go back and look at the trailer, you can't tell that it's a full song and dance movie. It's a strange thing that I think is working because these movies are making money. So Wicked's going to make a ton of money.
I love being tricked into
It's a
going
scene-
to a musical.
Yeah.
What
when
is
it
it?
sits down and then they start singing, I'm like, yes!
Yeah,
they're
I
singing
know.
and dancing.
I think it's a weird
Oh,
strategy.
yes, I'm so happy they're singing.
I think it's a
Oh,
weird
God, me
strategy,
too.
but Wonka made so much money that I think it worked. Yeah, which is crazy.
I did. I went and saw Wicked when it came here, and it was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
like at Dr. Phillips.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the movie will be really, really good.
I mean, it looks like a huge production. It looks
yeah,
big.
and I don't really have a strong opinion. I know there are some people that have a very strong opinion on Ariana Grande.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she's not as well liked as from
Yeah,
some
she's-
of the
she's a mixed
choices
bag
she's
of a
made.
person. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, whatever. She can sing, and she'll she'll probably play the role correctly.
She looks like good casting for the role for sure.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, thanks for sticking around
Thanks,
and
guys.
for
I
another segment.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Again, Cinema Crespedeso podcast,
Yep.
and look out for the new podcast
With
that
Cabin, yep.
you and Matt are working on, because it's a good premise,
Yeah,
and
excellent.
And me and Daniel are looking to do something as well
Cool.
on that show.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, all right, we will see you tomorrow.
Awesome. Is that it?
We have to do one more segment for tomorrow,
Okay.
and it'll just be a generic.
Let's do it.
So when's this one for?
This is tonight.
So 3 tonight?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I'll be out tonight.
Yep, you are.
Yeah, since we're pre-recording next week, which we already finished,
Yeah.
we're all over the place with when.
Thank you, buddy.
But this whole week is like we're doing shows that are airing the same day.
Yeah. All right. Well, happy to hang out. And
Yeah, well, we
Yeah,
appreciate that, man.
Sweat up your couch pretty good.
Oh, sorry. Did the air turn off again?
No,
Probably.
I'm just a hot, sweaty, disgusting mess. Fatter than
Good
ever.
thing.
No, stop.
No, I mean according to my scale.
Oh, really? Really?
Gotta work on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, guys, have a good week.
Cool.
You too,
You
dude.
Vacation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
I
so
appreciate
much, man. The chat room is saying thank you to you.
Oh,
So,
thanks, chat. Well, then I'll talk to you guys soon.
yes,
Cool.
sir. We'll see you online.
Yeah, and I'll contact you when I can figure another time to come in.
Yeah, just let me know, man. We'll make it work.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
See ya.
buddy. Okay, I'll keep that. I've got new voicemails and emails.
Yeah, let's just
Grab
do.
those.
All we need is like 20.
I shouldn't have worn pants today. It's hot. Do voicemails. I have something to bitch about quickly though before we do it.
Okay.
It's just something to, maybe it'll pop off as something else, maybe it won't. But it's fine. I just want to say it before I forget about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Is this a
This will be Tuesday 3.
Tuesday 3? All right, bring us back, buddy.
Yep.
3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
Before we get into some voicemail messages, I wanted to remind you of something that I saw with you that I've never seen before.
Okay.
And it was the most complicated and strange CAPTCHA that I've ever used in my life. You and I were trying to set up something for your sons to play some Fortnite on a computer. And in order to verify your account with Microsoft, which we use Gmail here, and most people, I think, use some element of Gmail or some element of a Google product, right?
Yeah.
This CAPTCHA was, I had to write it down. It was so weird. It was goat tractor cake. Do you remember this?
Yeah. It was like,
And it was a picture.
pick the one that doesn't have a pair.
Yeah, it was like pick the one that doesn't have a pair. And it had like a goat, a tractor, and a cake. And there'd be like 2 goats, 2 tractors, 1 cake. And you'd have to click the cake.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? What is this?
It must.
Is that the line of security we need? What is that?
I think that it's because the different pictures of the goats, and then so there were 2 goats, but they were different, and for
They were
whatever
varied goats.
and
yes.
for whatever reason, I guess a computer bot can't do that. Like you need a human brain.
But I think we have
guess.
computers that can tell. I'm very certain that we have computers
would
that can
think-
look and go 2 goats, 2 cakes, 1 tractor.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
in.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
But same thing with the choose the pictures with the cars in there.
Well, those are too hard. I can never do that.
Well, no.
Because they
Well,
sneak
why
some
can't
in.
it-
They sneak a couple. The pictures are so lo-fi, and I know everybody complains about this, but the pictures are so lo-fi, they'll be like, pick the traffic cone. And you will, but then in one photo in the bottom corner, there'll be one little pixelated, grainy traffic cone. They're like, you didn't get that one.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah,
not
but
letting you in.
I don't know why they chose that. It must be that a bot can't do those things, and then that's how to verify it's
Not
a
to
human.
sound like you, but isn't it just a matter of time? Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
But I guess
he
then-
doesn't know what a birthday cake is now, really?
But then there'll be
In 1
something
year
else
to the
probably.
day, mark my words, 1 year from today, robots will know what birthday cakes are. I'll bet my life on it, dude.
I guess
From today, what is it? Today is the 22nd of July. I bet you 2025, the 22nd of July, they'll be like, we know what birthday cakes are.
So, but if you ask the AI to make a birthday cake art, it knows it knows that.
That's what I'm saying.
But then I guess it can't recognize like what the it can't do that question of what the pair. I don't know. I mean, there's got to be a reason, right? That
somebody will know
that that eliminates bots or something like
Maybe we should ask our buddy SJ. By the way, I'll give him some flowers right now. SJ came by last week, picked up our ice machine, cleaned it out thoroughly, brought it back. This thing is pristine, cleaned perfectly, running like a top. You got your ice back.
Yeah,
Thank you, buddy. We really appreciate. You're a great listener. You helped us out. We really appreciate that.
I do feel super bad when someone does something super nice for us, and then refuses
and we give
pay.
Them nothing. Yeah.
Well, we gave him a 4-pack of our beer.
Old beer. We got some old beer. You want some old beer?
I was like, this is not enough.
Yeah.
Like you spent a long time repairing this.
Well, he said it wasn't that long.
Yeah, but
he said it took like 40 minutes.
But he drove here, picked it up, took it back to his house, took it apart, repaired it, put it back together, drove back here. Like,
he did.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's...
And he doesn't have this type of ice machine. And then he was like, well, my wife likes this ice because she was crunching it up with her margaritas. And he's like, she was putting bags of it in her freezer. I'm like, well, hell, we should have just given it to you. Just been like that. That's what I felt like. I was like, no, you keep it now.
Well,
that's kind of how I felt.
The whole point of fixing it.
I know, but you've gotten me into this least resistance type thing. I'm like, no, you keep it. Would you like to do some voicemails, buddy?
Yeah, let's do it.
If you'd like to leave us voicemails, there are multiple ways that you can do so. 1-844-TOMNDAN. That's our vanity line. You can call and leave a voice message, or you can call and leave us a message, or use our app, rather. It's not really calling. You just hold down a button, and it shoots out a little email like this one right here.
What's up, guys? Ben with the Y here. You guys touched on something on the Friday free show called Pedophile Time Machine, and I have a quick question for you. Now, this isn't about pedophilia by any means, but
that isn't the name of the show, by the way. I did not name the show Pedophile Time Machine. I did say that. That was my joke, but I didn't say.
Let's say you're in your 40s. Let's say you're 40 years old, and you could go back in time until your wife, or the other way around, your husband, whatever it may be, is 18 or 19 years old. Do you think that you know enough about your significant other now to be able to talk your way into having sex with your significant other at 18, 19, 20 years old?
That's what a monster sits up at night thinking about, right? That's what, like, you're sitting.
This is like Groundhog's Day. Remember, like he learned so much about the other reporter that he's able to make her fall in love with him.
What was her name? Edie?
I forgot her.
But curly black hair, right? Very attractive.
But that's the age-old question where, and I've thought about this a lot from the movie Groundhog's Day, which is like, could you make someone fall in love with you?
I could make anyone fall in love with me. I feel that way. I have that confidence that you the confidence you have with any challenge.
Yeah.
I have that with love.
Well, I'm saying
I'm the emotional challenger.
If you went back and found out about this person and then through trial and error, figured out what the perfect, like the same Groundhog's Day, right?
Yeah.
So you live the same day over and over, and then you find a stranger on the street, right? And then slowly, day by day, because you relive the same day.
Well, I would start getting there earlier, and then I'd find out where she lives, and I'd watch from afar.
You bump into her, and then you learn her name, and then you do
Andy.
And then you learn, like, you say, like, hey, you trick her into thinking that you went to the same school. You learned what school she went to. You start learning all these things, and then you through, like, manipulation, and then you learn what she's into.
It was Andy McDowell. Thank you, chat room.
And then in the movie Groundhog's Day, he tries different things until he gets the banger one day.
I'm not that much of a goof. I wouldn't have to try that much. I'm pretty astute. Like, I pay attention. I do.
No, but I'm saying, like, if one path fails, then you know the next day you try to go the other path, so you finally get her to your house.
The chat room's confused about the question. The question is,
could this work?
Yeah, do you
with anybody?
Do you know enough about your wife or husband now where if you were able to go back in a time machine and meet them at 18 years of age, Well, unfortunately, Andrea is not going to want to hang out with a 47-year-old little person. Why is this disgusting man hanging out
old
with me?
man?
She's working at Old Navy or Target or some garbage.
Yeah, when I go back in time, do I get to be young Tom Van or am I
he
old
didn't-
man
hold
Tom
on,
Van?
Let me see what he did. Let me see. Wow.
No, he just a good,
He didn't set any stipulations.
Yeah. So if I'm an old man, she'll be disgusted by me.
Yeah. I don't think Crystal or Andrea would talk to either of us at 40, at 18.
And I don't know that much about my wife that it would even make a difference, I think. I don't even know what kind of music she is like. She liked the Far Side.
She was Chunga.
She liked the Far Side. I guess I could wrap that in there.
Some
but
Tribe Called Quest.
I don't really even know that what would move the needle. I don't even know now.
Well, how would you dress?
Well, I mean,
the guys she dated before you, how did they dress?
Oh, like a graffiti artist.
Okay.
In the 90s. That's what Antonio was back in the day.
Dated some drift car driver. I think he wore the flat brim but turned sideways.
But she like me.
With a famous Stars and Straps shirt.
She like young Tom Van. I drove a mini
with
truck.
A white belt. Some big poofy. Remember when skate shoes were big and fat like an inflatable raft?
Okay, do you think that it actually I feel like 80 to 90% of the time that people are basing their interest in you off of looks, and they're not gonna it's gonna take longer than one day to get past looks.
Instantly disgusting.
So Bill Murray, the whole premise behind Groundhog's Day was he was able through information to woo the reporter in 24 hours and to eventually get her back to his and they insinuate that he bangs her, right?
I think they do, yeah.
Yeah, or that he's somehow romantic with her, but it took him trial and error through, they don't explain how many times, I'm guessing thousands of different times, and then finally found one thing that worked because he knew so much about her. I'm saying I don't think that's realistic.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, if I can go back and be younger, if I can be Andrea's age, I've got a shot.
Well, because you already know she likes you.
Right.
So,
but I got to be younger. If I can, like me at 47, her 18 ain't going to work. He should have set up that stipulation in his fantasy.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think you could with Crystal because, again, she already liked you. There must have been something that you guys were already friends, right? Weren't you? Or no?
No,
I thought you were friends first.
Well, we had friends that were friends with each other. Mutual friends. And then
and you guys never really made it official, right? You just kind of came together and it just kind of became.
Yeah. Then
you never had a talk like, okay, I'm your boyfriend, you're my girlfriend.
That never happened.
Not even with marriage. Like you guys are still loose. You're loose. He might be my husband, he may not be.
No. We never had any sort of this is now we're boyfriend. It just kind of morphed into it after a while. And then also when we were young, you're your kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know how
you
much.
You approach things differently.
The Groundhog's Day, you're already an adult and stuff, you care more about, the interesting conversations.
Sure.
And when you're a kid,
companionship.
You just want to bang. Well, no. I'm just saying, when you're kids, I think you're more apt to just want to bang or, you're doing kid stuff. At 17, 18, 19.
Hanging out, partying, having fun stuff.
Yeah. Anyway.
Let's try this one right here.
How's it going, Tom and Dan? So I'm going to try and make this PC for the show, but every once in a while I'm letting my dogs out in the backyard at night, after I've had a few drinks, I'll have a drink in my hand, letting them go to the restroom, we're all hanging out. I go to the restroom sometimes, and yes, I do pee outside. Every once in a while I am peeing outside, I have my drink in my hand, and I say, well, if I'm emptying, I might as well refill at the same time. And I take a couple down, or sips down, whatever you want to call it. And I was just wondering, am I getting drunk faster by refilling myself immediately with something negative? I don't know. Feels like I'm just filling my body back up. Thank you guys so much for all the content. Love you guys so much. And have a great day.
I don't think I understood his question.
He's saying while he's going, he's drinking So it's basically.
Oh yeah, I eat on the toilet. I eat on the toilet when I go number 2. No, I don't.
Some people do though.
It's disgusting. I feel like if you eat while you're going number 2, that you're special kind of gross.
Yeah.
But like a lot of I have friends that they'll eat a granola bar while they're knocking one out, and I'm just like, what are you doing?
You know, it's my sons. Never had the thing where parents complained about their kids having to go to the bathroom during road trips so much.
Yeah, we don't have that.
My sons will they never made a stop to go to the bathroom.
It would be me.
Yeah. And so that I guess because when you're real little, maybe you got a smaller bladder. But even when my sons were real little, they didn't have that. So whatever, they just never have.
They're pretty chill.
Well, it's not even that, but they never have to go number 1 on any sort of long trips. I mean, I'm not drinking enough water or something.
I don't know. What do they drink? What's their main thing?
Water.
Yeah, Maisie too.
But they never have to go that much. Where it's we have to change our plans or pull over or that's never been a thing.
We usually get that at restaurants. Maisie's she'll blow it up, dude. Number 2.
Oh, really? At a restaurant?
Yeah.
My sons never go to the bathroom in public.
If she's especially if it's a place she likes, I think subconsciously her brain tells her stomach to evacuate and make room for her favorite meal. Because she'll have, and Maisie or Andrea will have to take her, and you'll be like, God, Andrea's like, holy smokes.
Well, that is like you. That is like her old man.
Yeah,
they go anywhere.
Yeah, go anywhere and blows it up. I mean, blows it sideways, dude. The current, holy moly. Has to blow it up before she gets her fresh shrimp.
Let's do another voicemail.
Let's try this one right here.
Hey, what's going on, Tom and Dan? Love the show. My question is just for Tom and you too, Dan. What are your thoughts on David Goggins now that Tom is running? And then also...
Well, he goes on to another question.
Okay.
So,
David Goggins is not he is. Yes, he's a runner, but he's more of what I like to call discipline porn, and so he's more about extreme discipline and putting himself through misery and documenting that, which other fitness people make fun of him.
They do.
I see on TikTok, they not only make fun of him, but they also challenge him and then I guess say he's not that good.
But at that point, it's entertainment business, right? It
becomes
the sports medicine or it's entertainment.
Because you don't have to do what David Goggins is doing to be in healthy shape or whatever.
Right.
He's going above and beyond and doing crazy challenges to himself that is almost unnecessary for social media content.
Right.
And I know he goes on Rogan and he's all crazy about forcing yourself to be miserable and get up and run in the rain and the cold and he'll invite people, other influencers over his house
to go and do it.
And then they go and they do 12 hours of doing burpees, some crazy.
That seems
it's
it's
all
a weird
unnecessary.
thing, though, now.
You're also overtraining, which is you're gonna hurt yourself.
But that is a thing now. You see
person.
In that space, there is in the podcasting space, you see it I really like Action Bronson a lot as a rapper.
Okay.
And I also like his show, F That's Delicious, and I just think he's entertaining, right? But there is a group now, and it's a lot. He'll go and he'll hang out with Joe Rogan and work out with him all day, and then they'll do podcasts, but then they'll cook. It's a thing in the podcasting space where you have guys that are come with me and hunt and then get in this ice bath and then do this hard thing. And
it's
then
a lifestyle brand.
Yeah, it's it's kind of a thing.
Yeah. It's a brand lifestyle.
It's
and
we're alphas or we're
Yeah, and the social media. But
it's interesting.
But it's like that where there's a million things that are it's within the yoga community or whatever it's people make their whole lives about it, and then influencers. They follow these influencers, and the influencers sell them some whatever. Yoga mats.
A second question here.
So for Dan, the whole Hooters girls, I've heard they made one for the Girls Gone Wild videos, where they get the girls from the videos and split screen it to them in the future now, with them going on vacation and pictures with their families.
I have not seen that. Oh,
Really?
Really?
They splice in the old footage of Girls Gone Wild, and then they find their
that could
their
be
social
bad.
media
Because like
Leave
for
'em
a hot
alone.
minute I would agree with Tom on this one. It's a leave them alone because there's that towards the end of Girls Gone Wild, it became less of just flashing your boobies, and it became like full on shower scenes, lesbian porn.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're finding these people, and they're trying to live their regular life now, and you're shaming. Oh man, that's bad. That's bad. But I guess if it's out there, is there a law against that? I mean, if it's out there and you signed everything and you were on Girls Gone Wild.
No. I mean,
I don't think if somebody links you and goes like, "Hey, look, this is you, and this is you with your family in Costa Rica."
It's just a D-head thing to do.
It is a D-head thing to do. Yeah.
You know, but I guess if you don't link them and you just put it out, but it's still a D-head thing to do.
Well,
but other people will watch it.
It will get linked to them. I mean, like everybody that I follow on Instagram Reels and on TikTok, where there's somebody unfortunate doing something terrible, and they don't have the person linked. All you have to do is scroll down in the comments, and they'll at their account.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there. It's always going to be there.
Yeah. And it is horrible, especially because I'm sure these people want this to be buried and forgotten about. Although there's so much stuff on the internet that, how's
Haktua doing? Is anybody following her? Are we good? Is she burned out yet? Or has she got a gig yet?
I mean, there's nothing she could do. Because she's not an entertainer.
No, I know. But we were waiting for it. We're waiting for somebody to break out.
She's just trying to produce content. It's so funny because let's talk about content for a second. Because I think it's boiled down to where people just assume content is just filming yourself do anything. So it's like, let's do content. Like, film Haktua going to Publix and then shopping.
Yeah.
And then
These are my top 5 cookies I like.
and then making some comments about
it. Yeah.
And then it's like.
Number 5, Oreo Golden.
And I'm like, no. There has to be some sort of, beginning, middle, and end, and then also comedy, tragedy. There has to be a storyline, something.
No, you don't get it.
It can't just be nothing.
It's Haktua's top 5 cookies in public.
Hey, because that is you could call it content, but it's not content. It's you're filming your everyday life.
Oh, okay. There was one. Jackal in our Twitch chat room says, "Yeah, I saw the Haktua shops for dog food video." Yeah, I mean that's what you're doing. I mean you get a lot of that now, behind the scenes.
But it's a nothing. It's who even wants to see this?
I don't know.
Anybody.
I guess I could make the argument that there are plenty of people that wish that they were Haktua, or there are plenty of Haktuas that watch her just with a behind the scenes video of her going to a Luke Bryan concert or something, and then they're all like, "Oh, I wish that was me. Look, her life has been changed."
Oh, I saw a thing on TikTok that other girls out there are dressing like Haktua.
Oh, you're gonna get mad.
Now she has created some sort of style that other
people.
It's all. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I'm mad that I even look at it.
I know,
but I have to.
You're addicted to it now.
I'm not addicted to it.
You are addicted to it.
I'm looking at it. I'm like,
but
what is this?
You have clarified your algorithm to a point where you do get some stuff that you enjoy. You'll get gambling stuff, and you'll get sports things.
No, yeah.
Up to the minute. That's how I found out about Biden. You losing your Biden bet was Instagram Reels. I was like, oh my God, sitting there eating a barbecue sandwich, and I'm like, oh, there we go. Let's try this one right here.
Tom and Dan. Jim from Lakeland here. I'm listening to Dan recounting the tale of Grandpa Burrito's frozen corpse and how it ended up in Colorado, how they had a Frozen Dead Guy festival, and ultimately he ended up at the Stanley Hotel where The Shining was filmed, and that they're going to have a cryogenics museum at the Stanley. Does all that interest from the Stanley arise from the fact that at the end of The Shining, Jack Nicholson was a frozen corpse? If so, the marketing is pretty good. Take care, guys.
Didn't think about that. Wow, Jim from Lakeland, thank you. I did not think about it. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it's got to be tied in, right?
I would imagine that because it was at the Stanley Hotel, and we have multiple friends that have been to that place. I mean, it's a pretty famous spot,
Yeah.
But yeah, that story was absolutely crazy. The things that people can do in other countries with science is just wild.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time.
All right. Why did I wear pants today? My balls are straight sweat. Where's that go? Tuesday.
Tuesday at 3.
And do we have anything there? We don't.
No.
Oh, what's the date on Tuesday? 23rd?
That's 23rd, yep.
24, audio. Okay. Guys, I guess we are going to see over on
The BDM show at 1.
over on Facebook. We'll see you at 1. Have a great launch.